2020. Gage.
Hey, thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning. I am Gary Libator.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And chilly out there this morning.
Yeah, very chilly. Some frost as we've been expecting for the past few days. Chilly starts in the mornings. Quiet start out today. However, there is some impactful weather beginning to arrive this evening. If you are driving out this evening commute or traveling, might be a little bit dicey, especially in those higher elevations. But as you said, chilly start. Take a look at those temperatures this morning across New York State. 23 Griffith Park in Rome, 18 up north in Watertown, to the south 24 Binghamton, 5 degrees at Saranac Lake up in the Adirondacks. Definitely a chilly start up there in the North Country. Local temperatures zoomed in, 23 Whitesboro, 18 degrees, Little Falls, 16 to Big Moose. And the south, 16 Norwich, 20 Oxford, 19 Unadilla and Oneonta, 17 over in Schenevus. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet here this morning. Again, patchy frost. Budget an extra minute to scrape that off your car this morning. And for today, temperatures barely reaching the mid-30s. Blustery conditions. Wind speeds around 15 miles per hour from the east. It will not feel like the mid to upper 30s, but looking dry. Wintry mix arrives this evening. Timing it all and the impacts, and who could be expecting that coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. Fire and
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning and welcome back. Taking a look at your commute cast for today. No impacts are expected for your morning commute with quiet conditions, a bit chilly. Temperatures in the 20s. Budget an extra minute or two to scrape off that frost off your car. Things turn a little dicey as we approach the evening hours, 4 to 6 p.m. A wintry mix starting out as snow moves over our area, then eventually over to sleet, freezing rain, and eventually rain by the latest 10 to 11 p.m. So any impacts on travel will be isolated to only the evening hours. Tomorrow is looking, although on the rainy side for the morning, relatively quiet and no impacts expected for your travel. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're quiet right now. However, out to the southwest, here is that system approaching. We got cold air near the surface right now. Notice that leading edge right there starting out as some snow and some sleet, that pink right there before it again switches over to rain showers. And talking about snow accumulation, who could be seeing any snow showers? Well, even though we do start out the leading edge of snow, no real accumulation is expected for the lower elevations. However, higher elevations north and east of Utica, especially in the Adirondack region, will see the highest impact with accumulations upwards of 6 inches or more. Gary?
Eric, thanks. $1 million investment.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Another frosty and chilly start today. Quiet conditions, could see a nice sunrise as high-level clouds move in and eventual wintry mix arrives this evening. To get a look at current temperature right now, Griffith Park in Rome, 23 degrees with clear skies, a wind from the east, and feels like temperatures in the teens. Now, this will be a common trend. Highs will be expected to reach the mid-30s. However, with a strong wind, it will feel a little cooler out, so definitely bundle up as you head outside today. Taking a live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. Again, quiet conditions, high-level clouds slowly moving in. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, looking at quiet weather across central New York. However, this will change as we approach the evening hours. So what we know right now, it's going to dry start to the day. Wintry mix arrives this evening. The main impact will be in higher elevations north and east of Utica. Valley locations will likely still be above freezing when the snow moves in. So that means that very little, if any, accumulation will be possible on treated roadways. So timing of impact, very earliest 3 p.m. today until the very latest 11 p.m. in isolated higher elevations. For a lot of us, this won't last too long. It's only a minor impact event. But again, untreated surfaces could be icy, especially in higher elevations. Take a look at our ice accumulation forecast. Notice right here, those pink areas. That is the zone we're worried about right here. In central Herkimer County to the north, that's where temperatures will be expected to be below freezing when the wintry mix arrives. Starting out as snow showers and then eventually over to sleet, freezing rain, and then rain as the cold air near the surface erodes. The bigger picture, radar and satellite showing that low pressure quickly arriving from the southwest. Starting out as rain showers right now to the south. However, again, as it approaches that cold air near central New York, It'll start to switch over to snow showers this evening. So looking at our skycast for today, temperatures starting out in the 20s here in the Mohawk Valley, chilly up in the North Country in the teens. Again, a dry start, wintry mix arrives this evening around 3 to 4 p.m., the earliest arrival time of these snow showers. Take a look at the temperatures in the valley, still 37 degrees, so no real impacts are expected on treated surfaces, especially I-90 in the lower elevations. However, by this overnight hours tonight, a wintry mix continues to move through the area, turning over to rain showers. And again, the tricky travel is especially concerning for higher elevations. Lower elevations should be switched over to rain fairly quickly by 7 to 8 p.m. and warming up a little bit overnight into the upper 30s. And so for today, highs in the mid-30s, a dry start with a wintry mix for late. For tonight, lows falling into the 30s, warming up with some rain showers. Your 7-day forecast, looking ahead towards Wednesday, mostly cloudy, maybe some light lake effect drizzle, but if you are traveling for Wednesday, good news, no impacts expected. You can drive, you can fly. Maybe a little breezy, especially if you're flying out. Maybe get some turbulence as you fly up, but again, that's the only real main impact. No de-icing of planes.
Yeah.
And again, if you're driving, no icy impacts expected for Wednesday or for Thanksgiving.
And not a bad day for a post-Thanksgiving meal walk either, right?
Oh yeah, it's trending warmer, 40s for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Eric, thank you. The time right now is 5:21. Dan, thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we're rolling out those new graphics. They look pretty sweet, don't they?
Yeah, they look really nice. And props to all the people behind the scenes that were setting up all the graphics, doing the weather stuff too. That was a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoy, especially the larger print. I feel like that's the feedback we've been getting. It's a lot easier to read, especially for people like me who have smaller TVs. If I'm farther away, it's easier to see the text.
Who can't see too well.
But yeah, so hopefully it's easier to see and a little more pleasing to the eyes. And temperatures this morning, getting back to weather, on the cool side, but could see some impact with travel conditions for the evening. Current temperature 23 degrees at Griffiths Park in Rome. To the south, 19 Hamilton, and 5 degrees up in Saranac Lake, so definitely chilly up near the high peaks. A little more locally, 23 Whitesboro, 25 Westmoreland, 18 Little Falls, 15 up North Inlet. Into the south, 19 Oneonta, 18 Snevis, 21 Oxford, 16 degrees in Norwich. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet here in central New York this morning, but things will change. Starting out frosty, temperatures in the 20s, warming up into the mid-30s, and then a possible start to wintry mix by 3 to 4 p.m. That switches over to sleet, then freezing rain, and eventually over to rain showers by tonight. But I'll time it all out, and the impact zones in your full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget that Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Well, this time of year is traditionally seen as
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Welcome back. Local temperatures across the area are still on the cool side. 14 degrees up North Inlet, 17 over in Lake Pleasant. Into the valley, 18. A little slightly warmer in Little Falls, 23 Whitesboro. Back down to cooler temperatures, teens down in Cooperstown with 16 degrees, 19 checking in over in Earlville. And lastly, 25 degrees in Westmoreland. Quiet weather on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. And for the most part this morning, it is continued to remain quiet. However, as you approach the evening hours, a wintry mix is expected. And looking at those temperatures, today's highs only reaching the mid-30s with blustery conditions, windy as we head into Wednesday itself, but warming up a little bit into the low to mid-40s for Thanksgiving before we cool down once more as you approach Friday and Saturday of this week. So again, for today, starting out quiet, a wintry mix is possible as you approach evening hours. Time going to allow, plus who could be impacted the most in your full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Here's something to squawk about.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. As you noticed earlier, stuff the studio. The studio is getting pretty packed. Also stuffing the Weather Center. We're having some toys in the background as well. So if you want to donate, it will also cover all behind our Weather Center, all the computers and stuff as well. So definitely go in and donate some toys. Now to weather, starting out quiet and chilly. Temperatures in the 20s at Griffiths Park in Rome. Currently 23 degrees with a east wind of 8 miles per hour. That'll cool things down today with a wind chill in the teens. And again, quiet to start out today. However, things will start to turn more active by this evening. A live look at downtown Utica. Again, quiet weather here locally in central New York. A bit chilly. And on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar, looking at quiet weather in central New York. What we're tracking for today, the wintry mix. It begins to arrive this evening. The latest information we have right now is that the main impact will be in higher elevations north and east of Utica. Lower elevations are likely to remain above freezing by the time the snow begins to arrive, and so that'll limit the impact on travel, especially on treated surfaces. The highest impact will be on untreated surfaces in higher elevations. And the timing of this, the very earliest, expected to be 3 p.m. in the western portions of central New York, and at the very latest, 11 p.m. in outlying higher elevations. For a lot of us, this will be over and done with only in a few hours as it turns over to rain showers and temperatures continue to increase. So what zones are the highest impact? We'll take a look right here. Ice accumulation forecast. The pink zones are the areas which will likely be below freezing when the wintry mix arrives, and that's when accumulation could start. Notice right here, higher elevations, especially near Tug Hill, maybe some parts of Boonville, and higher elevations south of the valley. But the main impact zone will be in central to northern Herkimer County. Treated surfaces should be fine, but again, icy sidewalks, icy driveways could be possible for those of you in those areas. Radar and satellite shows that low pressure quickly arriving from the southwest. That is producing severe weather currently in the southeast, and as it reaches us, it'll cool down. No severe weather is expected, but again, wintry mix is possible along that leading edge. And so looking at our skycast for today, a dry and sunny start with increasing clouds. Wintry mix begins to arrive this evening. Looking ahead, seeing those clouds start to arrive 3 p.m. Leading edge, some snow showers right there, still above freezing here in the Mohawk Valley. And then by 5 p.m., the snow switches over to sleet, then freezing rain, and then eventually over to rain showers as temperatures will gradually increase overnight tonight. And maybe some lingering freezing rain in higher elevations that should be coming to an end by Wednesday morning. So if you are traveling, at least for tonight, avoid it, and then by tomorrow, things will continue to improve. So for today, highs in the mid-30s, a dry start, wintry mix late. Tonight, lows falling into the 30s, warming up, surprisingly, with some rain showers. Your 7-day forecast. Some lingering late drizzle for Wednesday with mostly cloudy skies. Impacts on travel are non-existent, aside from breezy conditions in the valley. For Thursday, Thanksgiving, that lake effect continues to the north, still looking dry. And looking at sunshine by Friday and Saturday. Be right back.
And our new graphics, they look pretty nice, don't they?
Oh yeah, I really like them too. And at least what people have been saying or feedback, mostly positive.
Mm-hmm.
And the primary thing is easier to read. That is the big story, and the bigger text. That was our primary focus setting this up. Especially with weather too, making the temperatures easier to read, make the text at the bottom. So for those who have poor eyesight, or for me, I have a smaller TV.
Yeah.
Hard to see if it's a bit far away.
It's like my computer. I put the font pretty big so I can read easy.
And looking at conditions, at least weather-wise for today, starting out quiet. However, wintry mix is possible by this evening. Local temperatures 22 at Rome, 21. Hamilton to the south, 25. Binghamton, 5 degrees. Up north in Saranac Lake. And more locally, 16 Big Moose, 21 Deansboro, 18 Little Falls, and to the south, 19 Oneonta, 14 Sherburne, 17 in Cooperstown, and 18 degrees in Unadilla. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Doppler radar, all is quiet here in central New York for this morning. Sunshine to start out your day, increasing clouds by noontime, and then as we approach the evening hours, the wintry mix begins to arrive, starting out as snow, a bit briefly, then turning over to sleet, then freezing rain, and eventually rain showers overnight. I'm timing it all out with all the impacts, plus who could be seeing the biggest impacts in your full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. Fire investigation.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. Good Tuesday morning. Your commute heading out the door, looking quiet with temperatures in the 20s, below freezing. So another frosty night to scrape off the ice off your car as you head out the door this morning. Other than that, though, looking at no impacts expected for your morning commute. Things are different, though. By the evening commute, a wintry mix starts to develop, starting out as snow showers, switching over to sleet, then freezing rain, and eventually rain showers by the overnight hours. And so the primary impact timing will be, again, during the evening commute, primarily in higher elevations on untreated road surfaces. Treated roads, especially in the valleys, should be fine as this system passes through. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet here in central New York right now, but turning our attention to the southwest. This is the system approaching us. And you can see right here that leading edge, some snow and some sleet, freezing rain right along there as it approaches this below freezing temperature near central New York. Now, gusty winds expected for today. Blustery winds will continue for the remainder of the work week. Gary?
Eric, thanks. $1 million investment is taking shape in Rome.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Another frosty and chilly start to the day with temperatures in the 20s in the valley, teens in higher elevations. Taking a look at current conditions right now, measured at Griffith Park in Rome. Again, currently 22 degrees, clear skies, a quiet start to the day today with an east wind at 7 miles per hour. So with that wind chill, it feels a little cooler out this morning in the teens, so definitely bundle up and definitely start your car as you head out the door this morning. And a live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. The twilight starting to arrive and seeing quiet conditions with clear skies, clouds starting to arrive from the south. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet right now. However, that will change as we approach the evening hours. So the latest information, what we're expecting for today, again, quiet start. No impacts to your morning or afternoon commute if you're driving anywhere. However, the evening hours, we'll start to see a change in the weather. Main impact zones will be in higher elevations, north and east of Utica, untreated surfaces, and especially, again, those higher elevations, lower elevations and treated surfaces should be fine as the wintry mix will be brief in the valleys. Timing of impact, very earliest 3 p.m. today, leading edge, especially in the western portions of central New York, until the very latest 11 p.m. in the outlying higher elevation regions of central New York, especially central Herkimer County. And taking a look at our ice accumulation forecast, you can kind of see where those impact zones are. The pink areas right here, light pink, even the darker pink up near Old Forge. The ice is not the main concern, it's just possible slippery conditions, icy spots on untreated surfaces, driveways, and sidewalks. Looking at the Mohawk Valley, things should be relatively fine, especially if you are traveling this evening as I-90, and again, those roads should be treated and okay. Radar and satellite shows that system arriving from the southwest and approaching central New York, where there are below freezing temperatures here locally. So right for today, dry and sunny start. Wintry mix arrives this evening. Timing it out, you can see right here, temperatures in the valley above freezing, starting out as snow, leading edge, turning over to sleet, freezing rain, and then eventually over to rain showers as temperatures warm up overnight tonight from the low to mid 30s up into the upper 30s by the early AM for Wednesday. And some scattered light rain showers come to an end with mostly cloudy skies by Wednesday evening. So overall, any travel impacts will be isolated only to this evening. So for tonight, highs in the mid 30s with a wintry mix late, bit breezy for tonight. Lows falling into the 30s, in fact, warming up as we head into early tomorrow. Your 7-day forecast, Wednesday, a little more mild, temperatures in the low 40s with some quiet conditions, at least compared to this evening. So if you are getting out of work, traveling to visit your family for Thanksgiving, no impacts are expected, no icy conditions, just some cloudy skies, even warming up with mostly dry weather expected for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, definitely good news for all those travelers.
Yes, thankfully it wasn't a monster snowstorm as some of the models are showing last week.
Yeah, that's for sure, Eric. Thanks, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on. And thank you for joining us for this half hour of Sunrise. That's right, I'm Gary Liberatore.
Yeah, I feel like you're getting all the credit.
Yeah, we got to get you in that little promo there.
I have my little segment on the end, so that's fine. But yeah, we're talking about a chilly start this morning. Frost, budget extra minute or two to scrape off that frost off the car. As you approach evening hours, travel could be tricky, especially for higher elevations. Get to that in just a minute though, but again, those temperatures this morning on the chilly side. 22 in Rome, 21 Hamilton. Take a look in the north, Saranac Lake, 5 degrees, single digits up in the high peaks of the Adirondacks. And heading to the west, Buffalo 31, the warmest temperature, Dansville with 34 in western New York. Here locally, 16 Big Moose, 15 Inlet, 18 Little Falls, 25 degrees in Westmoreland. And to the south, 16 Norwich, 22 Oxford, 18 Oneonta, and Skenevis. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Doppler radar, all is quiet here in central New York this morning, but that will change as the afternoon progresses. Mostly cloudy skies by noontime and the evening hours, 3 to 4 p.m. That's when the wintry mix will start out possibly as snow showers, turning over to sleet, then freezing rain, and then eventually rain showers overnight. And so those travel impacts are isolated to the evening hours. I'll explain who will be at most risk for tricky travel this evening, and again, timing it out in more detail coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Well, this time of year is traditional.
The Cooperstown Cam is brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group.
Welcome back. A chilly start to your day today with temperatures in the 20s and teens. Take a look at this across central New York. 15 degrees up in Inlet, 18 currently in Little Falls, as well as 16 Lake Pleasant. Similar conditions in Cooperstown, also with 16 degrees, 20 Richfield Springs, 25, the warmest of the area over in Westmoreland. And taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar. All is quiet here in central New York right now, but this will change as the evening hours progress. 3 to 4 p.m. is when that wintry mix starts to arrive. Now, after today, things are looking more quiet and also trending on the warmer side. Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday a little breezy, but as we head into Thanksgiving, more mild temperatures in the low 40s. But again, for today, starting out pleasant and dry with a nice sunrise. And as we approach the evening hours, that will change with the wintry mix. I'll time it all out in full detail in your full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Here's something to squawk about.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Another chilly, frosty start here in central New York on this Tuesday. Starting out quiet with, yet again, another beautiful sunrise. First off, taking a look at current temperature, 22 degrees at Griffith Park in Rome. Clear skies, light wind from the west or from the east. However, with that wind chills are down into the teens. Here's a beautiful shot looking to the east from downtown Utica, our Nexus camera, but this is the shot right here. Take a look at this. This is the fantastic sunrise shot in Oneonta from a camera at Top Hartwick College. If you do have any nice pictures of the sunrise this morning, send to WKTV.com. There is a send a weather photo segment. We might be able to show it on News Channel 2 at noon. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet here in central New York this morning, and the weather starts to turn active by this evening. So what we know right now, wintry mix arrives this evening. Main impact will be in higher elevations north and east of Utica, especially in central Herkimer County. Those of you in lower elevations near I-90, Utica, in the Mohawk Valley, treated roads should be fine. It's the untreated surfaces that could be a bit slippery as ice could accumulate. And the timing of impact, very earliest 3 p.m. today until the very latest 11 p.m. in those outlying areas in higher elevations. And those areas, especially here, highlighted in pink. Notice the central Herkimer to northern Herkimer County region, Tug Hill area as well, and maybe a few hilltops south of the Mohawk Valley. And again, if you are traveling this evening in lower elevations, especially I-90, Route 20, possibly, though it'll be treated, should see no impact. So for today, again, dry and sunny start, wintry mix arrives this evening. Looking at that right there, starting out as a leading edge of snow, turning over to sleet and freezing rain. Those valley temperatures are important. If we remain above freezing in Utica and Little Falls, Then, for the most part, no impact is expected as snow will not accumulate on the ground. Turning over to rain showers by 9 p.m. over a lot of the area. And after that, looking at relatively low impact weather aside from a few scattered showers by early Wednesday morning. That comes to an end by Wednesday afternoon with mostly cloudy skies and temperatures warming up into the low 40s with breezy conditions. And so for today, highs in the mid to upper 30s. It will feel a little cooler with that wind. Wintry mix arriving late for tonight. Lows falling into the 30s, warming up overnight with rain showers. Your 7-day forecast. Mostly cloudy for Wednesday with some lingering light lake effect drizzle. Mostly cloudy for Thursday. Mild temperatures in the 40s and sunshine looks to peak out by Black Friday and into next weekend.
And thank you for joining us. I am Gary Liberatore.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
Yeah, we got to get you in that promo. Should be
I
Gary
know.
Liberatore and Eric Gage.
I have a little mini promo when I go to my weather segment, so it's fine by me. But one thing I'm noticing right there, look behind us right now. That sunrise is just breathtaking. Now, this morning, it is starting out cool. Quiet weather for now. However, as we approach the evening hours, things start to turn more unsettled with a wintry mix arriving. But for now, as you head out the door this morning, temperatures in the 20s, below freezing. Budget an extra minute or so to scrape off that frost as you head out the door. 5 degrees, very chilly, single digits up in Saranac Lake. Sunrise is 7 a.m. today. So you start to see some of those overnight conditions right there turn over to sunshine as clear skies make way for sun. Temperature 16 Big Moose, 15 Inlet, 25 Westmoreland, 21 Deansboro, 18 to the east and Little Falls. Southern Valleys, 19 Oneonta, 17 Cooperstown, Knievis, 16 Norwich, 22 degrees down in Oxford. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Dot from radar. All is quiet here in central New York this morning. And remaining quiet, noontime, increasing clouds. Then this evening, around 3 to 4 p.m., leading edge of snow showers, turns over to sleet. Then over to freezing rain, and then finally over to rain showers by the overnight hours tonight. So it could cause impact to travel. I'll explain in more detail, timing it out, plus who could see the biggest impacts coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Let's get right to it now. Fire.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Another chilly and frosty start to your Tuesday. Temperatures warming up into the mid-30s by this afternoon. A bit breezy. And quiet weather comes to an end by 3 to 4 p.m. A wintry mix arrives. Here's a look at current conditions in central New York. Griffiths, 22 degrees in Rome, with a wind speed of 8 miles per hour from the east. And with a little bit of the breeze across the area, those temperatures will feel a little cooler into the teens. And a beautiful shot right here in downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. Some faded sunshine. These clouds will increase throughout the morning as things start to get more unsettled by this evening. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Dot radar. All is quiet here locally in central New York. Now, things again do turn active by this evening. A main impact will be in higher elevations north and east of Utica as that wintry mix arrives from the southwest. Timing of impact, very earliest 3 p.m., that leading edge of rain and snow showers, until the very latest 11 p.m. as it all turns over to rain by the end of this event. And so the areas of highest impact, you can notice right here with our ice accumulation forecast, those pink areas in the North Country up near Old Forge, Tug Hill, as well as some parts of the higher elevations south of the Mohawk Valley could see some icy spots on untreated surfaces. Treated roads and lower elevations such as I-90 and main roads should be fine as these temperatures this evening will climb into the mid-30s and hopefully remain above freezing when that arrival of snow begins to arrive. So for our Skycast, again, dry and sunny start. Wintry mix arrived this evening. Here's a look at the timing of that arrival. 3 to 5 p.m. Notice that leading edge right there, snow showers. Temperatures in the valley still above freezing. That snow turns over to sleet, then freezing rain, and then over to rain showers by 5 to 6 p.m. And notice a lot of the lower elevations are already over and done with this event by 7 o'clock. This is not a long duration event for lower elevations. This could be more impactful for areas, as you can see right here, that will still be below freezing by 7 to 8 p.m. Regardless, though, all of central New York will reach above freezing by the early morning hours Wednesday. the travel impacts are over and done with, and if you are traveling by Wednesday afternoon, aside from breezy conditions, no impacts are expected. So for today, highs in the mid-30s, a dry start, wintry mix begins to arrive late. Wind speeds 15 miles per hour. Tonight, overnight lows falling into the 30s, warming up in the early morning hours with rain showers coming to an end. Mostly cloudy for Wednesday, some lingering light lake effect drizzle for the afternoon, drying out by Thanksgiving. Black Friday looking more sunny, and that continues into Saturday.
Tricky travel later today, and this is a day many people start hitting the roadways, but look what's coming, right?
Yeah, that's right. So right now, things are quiet. Taking a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. To the west, we're seeing a leading edge of some snow, turning over to some sleet, freezing rain, eventually over to rain showers. At this point, I want to emphasize what's going on right now because, of course, when it comes to several types of precipitation falling, things get a little tricky. So, the leading edge of rain and snow, if the air is dry, basically the rain showers, they sweat. And when you sweat, you cool down the air around you. That's what's going on here, evaporative cooling. However, the rain and snow is falling a little bit less than expected, which means that those temperatures aren't cooling down that much, which is good news in terms of travel situations for here in the lower elevations in the Mohawk Valley. Already 32 degrees in Rome, so we are above freezing, not by much though, so still, but we're going to keep a close eye on those surface temperatures as that mixed weather still comes into the area. So again, the highest impact zones are those higher elevations north and east of Utica, as some ice could accumulate on untreated surfaces. And so if you are traveling for this evening, if you're commuting to and from work, or again, traveling for the holidays, I would avoid at least for tonight. However, by tomorrow, things do continue to improve and into Thanksgiving. Details, all that in the full forecast coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. And the severe weather across the country make
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. After a quiet morning, weather will start to turn active as we approach the next few hours. Now, temperatures are going to be very key here, determining what our weather is going to be like as we approach, again, the next few hours. Current temperature at Griffith Park in Rome is at 32 degrees with, I would say, more clouds than sunshine, although the sun is faded out there right now. Other areas, Cassville 30, Cooperstown 33, 29 Old Forge, and 30 degrees in Clinton. So we are hovering right around freezing, and that means when any precipitation comes in, it could be on the mixed side. Now you can see behind us, quiet currently in downtown Utica, but on the radar, a little different. Looking out to the west, we have a leading edge, as expected, of snow showers arriving a little sooner than expected, but regardless, it is starting out as some flurries, maybe again that sleet mix coming in before it will turn over to freezing rain and then eventually rain showers by later on this evening. Lower impacts for the areas, as you can see right here, lower elevations, treated roads, they should be fine. Higher elevations could pose an issue, especially on untreated surfaces, as of course those could get a little icy. As you can see right here, local temperatures, 28 Whitesboro, 28 Big Moose, 31 Little Falls, 33 Deansboro, so above freezing right down there. And to the south, looking at Cooperstown at 32, 33 from our Skywatcher, 34 Oneonta, as well as 34 degrees in Norwich. So this warm front is going to move in and bring up those temperatures. So there's a bit of a battle going on with how cold it is going to move in, at least for the next few hours. But as you can see right here, we're looking at a dry start. Wintry mix begins to approach. As you can see right around noontime, this is what's currently going on right now. That leading edge of some snow showers. This won't last too long for a lot of the area as that turnover to warmer temperatures begins to arrive fairly quickly in those lower elevations. Those stubborn cooler temperatures might stick around in those higher elevations a little longer. As you can see here, 5 p.m., still seeing maybe a sleet, freezing rain mixture in northern Oneida County and, of course, central Herkimer County. Regardless, though, By 7 to 9 p.m., almost all of central New York is eventually above freezing. All this has turned over to widespread rain and maybe some lingering spots in Tug Hill area, and North Country could still see maybe some additional freezing rain. And then by the early morning hours for Wednesday, switching all over to rain showers. And so for today, highs in the upper 30s. Dry start, wintry mix for tonight. Lows falling into the low 30s, warming up overnight with, again, those rain showers. Your 7-day forecast. Drying out for Wednesday with some lingering drizzle. Mostly cloudy with decreasing clouds as we head into late Thursday. Maybe a brief light sprinkle from lake effect, but that comes to an end. And by Saturday, also looking cool but sunny. Gary?
Keep an eye on the weather for later today for sure.
Yes.
Eric, thank you. Well, this time of year is time now for a first look at the weather. In this half hour, once again, here is meteorologist Eric Gage. And Eric, those toys are filling up behind you.
Yeah, in the past few minutes, stocked it up some more. So, yes, stuff the studio, stuff the weather center, stuff pretty much everyone in the studio is going to get flooded with toys. And we thank you guys so much for that, too, because that's going to help the local children. Taking a look at the weather right now, pretty active to the west. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Doppler radar on the leading edge. This is starting out as some light snow, primarily sleet, turning over to freezing rain. That's that the sleet, the purple right there, the freezing rain, that's that pink. So you notice right here, the higher elevations as it moves into central New York will start out as sleet. Could see some accumulation. Surfaces may become briefly icy. However, this will turn over to rain showers. You notice out to the west, those valley locations, you kind of see them look like veins right there. These are already turning over to rain as warmer temperatures are moving in behind that leading edge. You can see right there too, 32 in Rome, but as you look to the south, 34 Ithaca, 38 in Dansville. And so those advisories are primarily for north of and east of Utica. But again, maybe brief ice surfaces and higher elevations as temperatures warm up into the mid-30s before things cool down briefly tonight. Then warming up overnight as we expect a more calm and slightly more mild day for your Wednesday. Look at that full forecast is coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. An hours-long standoff.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. Mixed precipitation is on our doorstep to the west. Weather has been quiet this morning, but again, it will start to turn more active within the next few hours. Taking a look at current temperatures right now, this is the main thing we're keeping an eye out for. Temperature 32 degrees in some areas below freezing and others above freezing. Now, as this system approaches from the west, it encounters near or below freezing temperatures. That thin layer of cold air near the surface will allow rain or snow to fall as sleet or freezing rain. Now, as you can see right here, a bit breezy too. Feels like 22 with that wind of 15 miles per hour. Quiet here in downtown Utica, but again, that will change. Now, we do have a new radar, and for those of you who are wondering where the time is, just to clarify, it's right above my head right here in big bold letters. Should be a lot easier to see than our smaller time we did have in that corner previously. But anyways, looking at our radar right now, this leading edge of snow showers currently out to the west, just over Syracuse right now. My thoughts are it's mainly a sleet type of snow, not that thick, fluffy snow you usually see. But that purple right there, that's also sleet line before it then moves over to freezing rain, and eventually rain showers behind it. So expect maybe a brief amount of sleet to freezing rain before that warmer air moves in behind it. As you can see right here, 29 Whitesboro, 33, a little warmer in Deansboro, 32 right around freezing in Little Falls, 28 up in Big Moose. And to the south, those warmer temperatures starting to move in. 37 Unadilla right there, 34 a little cooler over in Sherburne, and 35 above freezing over in Cooperstown. Here's the bigger picture right here. We got cold air near the surface right now, and that warmer air starting to mix in behind that. So again, we did start out dry and sunny. That wintry mix continues to arrive. You can see right here that leading edge of snow showers. Again, on the type of sleet side, not that thick snowflake you usually see. That switches over to sleet, then freezing rain, then over to rain showers, and in lower elevations, this will happen very quickly. so very little, if any, impact is expected on treated surfaces. Untreated surfaces could get icy, especially in hilltops north and south of the Mohawk Valley, primarily in the North Country, because temperatures could hover below freezing just a little bit longer. But regardless, by 7 to 9 p.m., almost all of central New York is going to be above freezing into the upper 30s overnight and by the low 40s by early Wednesday morning, with just a few scattered rain showers. It's getting a little breezy as winds still remain on the gusty side. So for today, highs in the mid to upper 30s with a wintry mix beginning to arrive tonight. Lows in the low 30s, warming up overnight with rain showers. Your 7-day forecast. Again, that active weather is only for tonight. If you are traveling tomorrow, no impacts expected for your Thanksgiving travels, as well as Thursday, still a little breezy, a little more mild with mostly cloudy skies. Gary?
Eric, thank you. Well, 'tis the season for giving, but also the season for taking.
In the latest from the Weather Center.
Yeah, a lot of this happening is a combination of sleet and freezing rain as expected. If you have to get home, just take it slow and don't assume that everything that you're seeing is staying rain, because freezing rain looks just like rain, except it ices over on the surfaces, and it can make it a little difficult to always spot. And again, it first happens on bridges and overpasses. So again, just use caution if you're going to be heading home this evening. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, a lot of this falling as freezing rain at the moment. There will be a transition over to rain that takes place tonight as warmer air moves in, but it is going to be a while before that happens, and we're not in the clear anytime soon. 32 degrees at Griffiths and Rome. Again, icy surfaces. We're tracking that ice to linger into early tonight, but things will improve. Especially by tomorrow morning. There won't be any issues on the roadways in the morning. We'll be well above freezing, and it should be a nice day to travel tomorrow. We do have some colder weather on the way. We'll take a look at that as well as the forecast heading into Thanksgiving. But again, watch out for icy surfaces this evening as temperatures hover around freezing. We are tracking some improvements in the weather as we head into the holiday. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. A former longtime.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. If you're planning on heading home, just be careful. The roads are icy, untreated surfaces, bridges, overpasses. Freezing rain has accumulated in a large portion of our area. We're not expecting conditions to remain like this completely tonight, as warmer air will eventually work in. We'll see a transition from freezing rain over to rain, but that's the thing about freezing rain. It looks just like rain, except it freezes on the surfaces. And again, that's what we're dealing with here this evening. So again, do be careful if you're heading out tonight. That's what our radar is showing. Pink, that's freezing rain. That continues for a good portion of the Mohawk Valley and North Country. We are getting some reports that this is mixing in with some light snow from time to time across the Adirondacks. But again, it's primarily sleet and, again, for most of us, freezing rain. This continues across the southern valleys. The green color that's showing up is warm air building in from the west. It's a process, but as the wind direction changes, temperatures are slowly going to warm up as we head throughout the course of tonight. We're thinking that the ice concern is going to be with us at least for the next few hours, but it will improve, especially in the lower elevations by, say, 7 to 8 o'clock tonight. And then eventually, even the hilltop locations will climb above freezing. By Wednesday morning, things will be in much better shape. In fact, if you're traveling Wednesday, let's look at conditions across New York State. Will be in the 40s. It's mainly dry. Just a couple of light sprinkles are expected across central New York. This is a live look in downtown Utica. You can see the camera's wet. Doesn't look like it's iced over, though. And again, traffic is moving. Roads mainly wet, but again, you got to watch out. Those bridges and overpasses tend to ice up first, and our temperature is still below freezing at Griffiths and Rome, 32 degrees. But we do see temperatures above freezing to the south and west, where our air will be coming from tonight. And again, that's why things are expected to improve. As we look at the radar and satellite image, low pressure working in from the west. This will pass through our area tonight. And again, we are expecting a changeover to rain. So again, a slow transition to rain tonight. Temperatures climb above freezing. Again, watch out for the next couple of hours as temperatures remain right around the freezing mark. Tomorrow, lingering showers at 7 a.m., temperatures in the low 40s. The sprinkles will last for about the first half of the day, and then we do get a chance to dry out. Cloudy skies throughout the afternoon, but again, a good day to travel. Looking at tomorrow night, again, a couple of sprinkles are possible. Overnight lows drop down into the low 30s. For Thanksgiving, the weather looks pleasant. Temperatures climb into the mid-40s with some breaks of sunshine. If you're traveling locally Thursday, the weather looks fine. Looking at dry conditions throughout central New York. Ice changes to rain tonight as temperatures slowly warm up. We'll climb into the low 40s tomorrow with a few sprinkles, especially in the morning. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Thanksgiving looks nice, 43 for the high. It's colder on Black Friday, 32. Cold weather on Saturday, 34. We're up to 41 on Sunday, and then another push of some colder weather with the chance for some snow showers as we look ahead to Monday and Tuesday.
All right, Bill, thank you. How early is too early to start my car?
10 minutes. If you're driving to your Thanksgiving holiday destination. Now, the closer we get to the holidays, the closer we get to this. Snow, cold, winter. And as Linda Beccaro reports, it's time to prepare the car for the changing season.
Temperatures are dropping, and now is the time to make sure your vehicle is ready for winter weather. It all starts with a clear view of the road, as the owner of Great Bear Auto Repair in Flushing explains.
Check your windshield wipers so that you have clear visibility. If your windshield wipers are chattering, leaving any streaks, definitely now is the time to replace them.
Top off your windshield wiper fluid with a mix that doesn't freeze in the cold. And while you're under the hood, make sure you have enough coolant. And check the oil.
Motor oil is the lifeblood of the engine. If that oil is old, it becomes thick. And if it's thick, then it's not flowing through the engine smoothly, which would give a difficult start.
Audra, who's also the founder of Women Ought to Know, training women to be mechanics, suggests one way to avoid ice freezing around your doors.
You can use a silicone or some sort of a grease, and that will prevent the freezing, and you'll be able to open up your door.
AAA Northeast tells us each winter the same troubles appear.
Without a doubt, the top two items we get calls for at AAA are flat tires and dead batteries. Well, you can do a visual inspection of the terminals of the batteries, see if there's any oxide on them, and clean it if that's the case. But the really important thing that you have to do is have it tested.
Have a roadside emergency kit on hand with jumper cables. And check the pressure on your tires.
Outside air temperature goes down 10 degrees, you lose about 1 psi of pressure in your tires. So you could go from maybe underinflated to dangerously underinflated. The most important thing to have is a charged cell phone so that you can call for help.
Make sure to also check the depth of the tread on your tire. It should be at least 3/32 of an inch to make sure you have enough traction to grip that snow and ice on the road.
Of course, you're going to need your car in tip-top shape if you're traveling this holiday season, especially this week. Let's check back in with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis as the weather is changing. It's an alert day.
Yeah, we're looking at slippery conditions this evening. This will not last all night as warmer air works in. I just want to show you the setup that we're dealing with tonight and why we are seeing that wintry mix. And it's not just snow or it's not just rain. We've got a push of warm air that's working in from the west, and it's arriving aloft. It's arriving above the surface before it's arriving below the surface, or at the surface, I should say. So what's happening is you have this setup where it's cold at the surface, it's warm aloft, and rain falls into this cold air and it freezes over. And if it freezes before it hits the surface, it's sleet. If it freezes on the surface, it's freezing rain. And that's what we're dealing with here this evening. That freezing rain is very slippery. Just a couple of tips on driving in this. If you do encounter ice, you're going to want to keep the steering wheel straight. Don't brake, because that can often cause a spin out. You just want to take your foot off the accelerator to slow down and do the best that you can. And again, we are dealing with this evening, but we should see a transition to rain as we head into tonight, as temperatures are expected to slowly warm up, and conditions for traveling will be much better tomorrow. We're, in fact, taking a look at that travel cast for tomorrow and Thanksgiving, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Can't emphasize enough. Slow down out there on that drive home tonight. 16-year-old is facing charges in Scottsdale.
And Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis, it's dicey out there.
Yeah, we're talking about sleet, freezing rain, and why bridges in particular need to be watched very closely this evening. And this all has to do with the fact that bridges freeze first. The cold air can move above it and below it. And again, these surfaces can freeze long before roadways do. So again, even on your drive home, take precautions because we're looking at widespread freezing rain. And again, bridges, overpasses are the ones that tend to ice over first. And I think that's going to continue at least for the next couple of hours. The good news is that temperatures will climb above freezing, and this wintry mix will turn over to rain as we head into tonight. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Still icy conditions this evening, but again, a slow transition to rain will be taking place tonight. Traveling will become a lot better across central New York for the big travel day tomorrow. We're going to take a closer look at that, as well as how things are trending for Thanksgiving, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. A special delivery was made today to...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Be careful if you're heading home tonight, as we are still tracking icy conditions out there. Freezing rain fell earlier this afternoon. A gradual transition over to rain is expected to take place across central New York as warmer air arrives. So it will not stay icy all night long. But if you are heading out, again, just exercise caution. Untreated surfaces are slippery, particularly in areas north and east of Utica. And even the higher elevations to the south are still seeing some ice issues. And even though it's, even when temperatures do climb above freezing, it is a process to melt the ice. So I think things will get better as we move throughout the course of this evening, but it will take at least a couple of hours before conditions are completely ice-free. And again, this is all a push of cold air at the surface and warm air aloft. Again, that combination of the two creating that wintry mix, which will come to an end tonight as warmer air arrives. Now, traveling tomorrow, nothing has changed. It looks like a fine day to travel. Temperatures will be above freezing. We're not going to see any ice on the roads by that point. Everything will be melted and long over. In fact, most areas climb into the low to mid 40s. A few light rain showers are possible. But other than that, again, smooth sailing for those of you heading out on Wednesday. And even locally Thursday, the weather looks fine. We're not tracking any significant winter weather here for the next several days. Live look in downtown Utica. Again, pretty icy conditions in parts of our area this evening. Conditions will gradually improve. Let's look at our sky watchers. Areas that are below freezing are still seeing some ice accumulation. Clinton, 31, Yorkville 32, Forestport 30. These areas in particular will take longer to thaw out. Curtis Corners 29, Stratford 28, Fairfield 30, Mohawk 32. Across Southern Valleys, temperatures are above freezing, so things are improving faster in these areas like Milford 34, Cooperstown 34, and Hartwick with 33. We can see that push of warm air, a little bit more green showing up in the last couple of images here. It will be a transition, but again, we do turn over to rain tonight, and then we get a chance to dry out tomorrow as low pressure heads to the east. So again, this slow transition to rain with improving conditions tonight. Overnight lows will rise. We'll be in the low 30s early. We'll start out near 40 degrees tomorrow morning. Some light rain showers, some sprinkles, some drizzle expected as we head into tomorrow, especially during the morning and into the early afternoon. Tomorrow night, the weather looks pretty quiet, and Thanksgiving, if you're traveling locally, it should be a pleasant day. Seasonable, too, with high temperatures in the 40s across central New York. Ice changes to rain tonight. Temperatures will gradually rise. Tomorrow, sprinkles in the morning. A fine day to travel. No big issues here weather-wise. 43 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Thanksgiving looks nice. Temperatures in the low 40s. It's cold on Friday. A cold front arrives early in the day. 32 for the high, and it's a breezy 32, so it's going to feel cold. Saturday, 34, less wind. Sunday, mostly cloudy, 41. For those of you traveling on Sunday, the weather looks okay. Rain and snow showers Monday, and it does cool down as we head into next Tuesday. We'll be right back.
When this is all going to go away?
I actually do have some good news. The temperatures near the surface in the Mohawk Valley are starting to climb above freezing. So I think the timetable of this ice is going to be relatively short for the lower elevations, although it will take longer for the ice to melt in the higher elevations, especially north and east of Utica. Yes, you do want to exercise caution traveling. We have seen freezing rain in many areas over the past couple of hours. Untreated surfaces are slippery, but a lot of surfaces are treated by now, so you just want to pay extra attention to sidewalks, driveways, parking lots, overpasses. With temperatures climbing above freezing, though, there is a limit to how long this is going to last. We're up to 33 degrees now at Griffiths and Rome, so some good news there. And we will see temperatures continue to climb tonight, so icy surfaces will eventually melt, and this is not going to be a problem tomorrow. If you are traveling tomorrow, it should be a pretty quiet weather day. And so does Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving looks pretty nice, but then colder weather does arrive. This evening, again, we're going to see this transition from ice to rain as temperatures slowly warm up. But again, do be cautious if you are traveling out there this evening. We're tracking some warmer weather ahead. A look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. From holding court to a...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Pockets of sleet and freezing rain taking place earlier this afternoon, causing an ice buildup on untreated surfaces. Things are going to change over the next few hours. And we're going to take a live look at our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. You can see just a lot of colors here. What is happening is we're seeing a wintry mix. Most of this is falling as a combination of sleet and freezing rain, which is mostly freezing rain. But over the past hour or so, we've noticed temperatures have climbed above freezing, especially south and west of Utica. You can see the greens and yellows starting to move in from the west. This is that warm air that's starting to make progress, and we will see temperatures rise tonight, and that's going to cause the ice to melt. So things are going to get better as we head throughout the next several hours, but it will take a little bit of time, especially those of you that live north and east of Utica. It's just harder to warm some of these places up because of topography, and it will take longer for pockets of the Mohawk Valley to climb above freezing. But by tomorrow morning, this will be a thing of the past. We're not expecting any issues for traveling on Wednesday. In fact, Wednesday looks like a great day to travel. Nothing has changed with the forecast for tomorrow. So if you're planning on traveling tomorrow, if it's the big day, we're looking at just a few light rain showers across upstate New York. Temperatures will be well above freezing. So again, no ice on the roadways in the morning or the afternoon or evening for that matter. In fact, heading south, it gets warmer. Temperatures in the 50s closer to the coast. Downtown Utica, again, looking at wet conditions, but notice our camera is wet and not icy, so that is a good sign. Again, as temperatures gradually warm up. Our sky watchers are checking in with temperatures right around freezing. Eaton 33, Yorkville 32. Pockets north and east of Utica. Again, these areas in particular will see a little bit more icing over the next couple of hours. Curtis 29, Fairfield 30, Mohawk 32. But temperatures have climbed above freezing. South, Cooperstown 34, Worcester with 33. So again, a gradual transition over to rain tonight as low pressure moves through. And again, we'll see the rain come to an end as we head into tomorrow morning. We start out tomorrow morning with temperatures in the low 40s, scattered showers and some drizzle linger into the early afternoon. And it's a generally cloudy day. We're dry tomorrow night. Overnight lows drop down into the 30s. On Thanksgiving, the weather looks fine. If you're traveling across the area, no weather worries. Actually, looks like a nice day. Temperatures climb into the mid-40s, which is typical for this time of the year. Ice changing over to rain across all of central New York tonight as temperatures rise above freezing. Tomorrow, we're looking at sprinkles in the morning, drying out in the afternoon, 43 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Pleasant Thanksgiving. It's cold as we head into Friday and Saturday. Temperatures in the 30s, back into the low 40s Sunday. Another big travel day. The weather should cooperate. Rain and snow showers on Monday and Tuesday. We do expect another round of some cold weather as we head into next week. But again, a couple of traveling issues over the next couple of hours. Things do get better.
All right.
All right, hang on.
What do you got?
I stopped. I got to start my car again. But you said it's warming up a little bit, so it's not as
Mother
icy.
Nature will help you
Okay,
too.
all right, that will help. All right, Bill, thanks.
Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. Highlights was the scene late this afternoon right here. Accidents everywhere. Temperatures dropped, roads and bridges, they were slick. Much like you predicted exactly 24 hours ago at this time, we were talking about something was coming. And it did. Where do we move from here?
Well, again, with the wintry mix, it's going to turn over to rain, so conditions are going to get better across the region as we head into tonight. As temperatures climb above freezing, Ice is eventually going to melt. There's a little bit of a delay that's going to take place, especially north and east of Utica, as surface temperatures are still near or just below freezing. But the bottom line is things do improve tonight. And in fact, it already has improved in the lower elevations. Our current temperature 34 degrees at Griffiths and Rome. So we are above freezing, even though we're barely above freezing. It still counts. Temperatures tonight will continue to rise. So we are tracking pretty quiet weather here tonight, looking at rain overnight, low temperature of 32 degrees. Traveling wise, a lot better for tomorrow. We're taking a look at how things play out heading into Thanksgiving as well, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Now, this was just a quick hit for us today, right? But a storm system pushing across other parts of the eastern U.S. could cripple Thanksgiving travel for millions of Americans. New tonight, Jen Sullivan has more on how the severe weather could impact your travel plans outside our area.
Millions of Americans are under the threat of severe weather, just as travelers set off to celebrate Thanksgiving. Strong thunderstorms, heavy downpours, damaging winds, and even snow could spoil your Thanksgiving travel plans.
We're expecting 1 to 2 inches of rain.
New York City bracing for possible flooding Tuesday night. A travel advisory is in effect through Wednesday morning. It's part of a powerful system that's moving east, impacting at least 24 states. It could disrupt air travel in large hubs like New York, Atlanta, Boston, and Washington, D.C.
The FAA's command center, as usual, is working closely with airlines to plan for and plan around any disruptive weather.
AAA estimates more than 55 million Americans will travel this week. It's expected to be one of the busiest Thanksgiving travel periods in years. Passengers bracing for the chaos.
I didn't know what to expect because travel here is always so crazy. Boarding pass?
The Transportation Security Administration warning passengers to arrive early.
I have exactly 2 hours to go to the checkpoint, get some breakfast, and go on time.
Others simply packing a positive attitude.
Take it easy, be calm, things happen, don't stress about it.
The good news, by Thanksgiving Day, much of the central and eastern U.S. will see dry conditions. And that's something to be thankful for. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Focus Economy.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. It's been an icy go this afternoon as a wintry mix moved into central New York, but in general, temperatures have been climbing above freezing in many areas, including the lower elevations and also south of the Mohawk Valley, and conditions have greatly improved, with most roadways generally wet. The exception being north and east of Utica. These pockets hold on to sleets and freezing rain a lot longer due to topography and an east wind locking in some of this cold air. So it's going to take longer for these areas to warm up, but even they will as we head into tonight and tomorrow. And we're looking at much improvement in traveling as we get into Wednesday. In fact, the travel cast across New York State looks fine. We're not looking at any significant weather to slow you down. Temperatures are expected to climb well above freezing. In fact, we start out with temperatures near 40. We'll climb into the low to mid 40s in the afternoon with a few late rain showers. And again, just pretty quiet traveling weather if you are traveling tomorrow. Again, no worries weather-wise. A live look in downtown Utica, and it's mainly wet. So you can see the tower camera here has water on it as opposed to ice. Temperature-wise, we're up to 35 degrees in Rome. So again, sufficiently above freezing, meaning any ice is going to melt overnight. This weather system caused by low pressure working in from the west, and again, encountering some of that cold air in the northeast, causing that wintry mix. This is going to head east tonight, and it will clear the area. In fact, it moves east as we head into tomorrow. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. A few lingering showers heading into first thing tomorrow morning. This is the scene at 7 a.m. Temperatures in the low 40s. It's a cloudy day, a few spotty showers, but overall not too bad. Looking at cloudy skies here through 5 p.m. Generally cloudy skies tomorrow night. The weather on Thanksgiving looks nice. Looking at a mix of sunshine and clouds, pleasant and seasonably cold with high temperatures in the 40s. Looking ahead, the long-range outlook heading into the end of the month is favoring colder air, below average temperatures here across the Northeast, which will likely increase our chances for getting some snow as we look ahead. To be continued. Ice to rain tonight, low of 32. Looking at rain showers tomorrow in the morning, high temperature of 43. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Thanksgiving looks nice, low 40s. It cools down. Some chilly weather Friday and Saturday, temperatures in the 30s, low 40s Sunday, and then some snow chances as we look ahead to early next week. We'll be right back.
The scene late this afternoon. Temperatures dropped, roads and bridges got slick, and we saw quite a few accidents, especially right off the arterial. This one here. So, Bill, where do we stand now moving forward?
Temperatures are warmer now than they were this afternoon, and we're above freezing, which means any of the ice issues have switched over to rain. So if you're traveling this evening, tonight, tomorrow, things look much better. At least the ice issue is expected to be off the table as we move forward. Our temperature is now up to 35 degrees. Now, that's not warm, but that is above freezing, and that means any ice issues will continue to melt as we head into tonight. Again, this temperature comes out of Griffiths and Rome. Still a little bit colder north and east of Utica. Looking at what we're tracking tonight, again, slow melting ice. Better travel day tomorrow. A nice day for Thanksgiving, and then we've got some colder weather on the horizon. We'll take a closer look at that coming up. Tonight, overnight lows will gradually rise. Looking at temperatures generally in the 30s with rain. Again, we're taking a look at the travel cast over the next couple of days coming up. Jason, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Now, let's talk more about that. This was just a quick hit for us, right? We saw the accidents here, but a storm system pushing across other parts of the eastern U.S. could cripple Thanksgiving travel for millions of Americans. New tonight, Jen Sullivan has more on how the severe weather could impact your travel plans, especially outside our area.
Millions of Americans are under the threat of severe weather, just as travelers set off to celebrate Thanksgiving. Strong thunderstorms, heavy downpours, damaging winds, and even snow could spoil your Thanksgiving travel plans.
We're expecting 1 to 2 inches of rain.
New York City bracing for possible flooding Tuesday night. A travel advisory is in effect through Wednesday morning. It's part of a powerful system that's moving east, impacting at least 24 states. It could disrupt air travel in large hubs like New York, Atlanta, Boston, and Washington, D.C.
The FAA's command center, as usual, is working closely with airlines to plan for and plan around any disruptive weather.
AAA estimates more than 55 million Americans will travel this week. It's expected to be one of the busiest Thanksgiving travel periods in years. Passengers bracing for the chaos.
I didn't know what to expect because travel here is always so crazy. Boarding pass?
The Transportation Security Administration warning passengers to arrive early.
I have exactly 2 hours to go to the checkpoint, get some breakfast, and go on dime.
Others simply packing a positive attitude.
Take it easy, be calm, things happen, don't stress about it.
The good news, by Thanksgiving Day, much of the central and eastern U.S. will see dry conditions. And that's something to be thankful for. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The Utica Fire Department holds.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. I'm continuing to track widespread rain across central New York. The wintry mix has changed over to rain as temperatures have climbed above freezing. It's been a process, but warm air is finally making progress across the area. And by warm, we're meaning just a few degrees warmer than what we saw earlier today. So roads will continue to get better. Most roadways are wet. The one exception is heading north and east of Utica. These pockets tend to hold on to cold weather longer, and there's still some ice concerns, generally north and east of, say, Little Falls, out towards Salisbury, Dolgeville, St. Johnsville, into Speculator and into the Adirondacks, which, by the way, they did get accumulating snowfall just north of Albany today as cold air hung out even longer. Traveling tomorrow, the weather looks fine. We're looking at temperatures in the 40s, a few light rain showers in the morning, but overall it should be a nice day to travel across upstate New York. Whether you're heading east or south or north, things look pretty quiet. Even heading to the west out towards Buffalo, looking at dry weather with temperatures in the low 40s. Live look in downtown Utica. You can see the tower camera has water drops on it as opposed to ice. That's a good sign. Temperatures are in the mid-30s right now. Griffiths and Rome 35 degrees, so we continue to stay above freezing tonight. Low pressure moves through our region and brings us more rain overnight. The rain comes to an end, though, as we head into tomorrow morning. Temperatures will slowly rise to the low 40s by 7 a.m. Showers around early tomorrow. They'll be very light and very scattered. Heading into tomorrow afternoon, it's mainly cloudy with temperatures in the low to mid-40s. Tomorrow night, pretty quiet weather, overnight lows in the 30s. Thanksgiving should be nice for the time of year. Temperatures in the mid-40s, mostly cloudy skies, dry. If you're traveling locally, no issues across the area. It looks like a pretty quiet day. We're looking ahead. The end of November, the general weather pattern looks to change. I think we're going to start seeing colder outbreaks of air and a better chance for snow heading into the end of the month and into the first part of December. We'll see exactly when that snow arrives and how much it could bring here to be determined. Ice changing to rain tonight. Again, most of us looking at wet roads and pretty good traveling tomorrow. High temperature 43. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine here for Thanksgiving, 43 for the high. It's cold on Friday and Saturday, temperatures in the 30s. We are dry through the weekend. Sunday, mostly cloudy, 41. And then some snow chances as colder weather arrives as we look ahead to early next week. We'll be right back.